welcome to Arbor the Science Dog, where we are going to talk today about the laws of motion. Yeah, okay. I'm not using a mic, this is too loud. Okay, we're talking about the laws of motion today. Newton's laws of motion. And then we have been working on a new skill for Arbor. We have been working on a stop cue, where he's running, and the goal is if I say stop, he actually stops moving. We just started working on this. We ran it for about a week. We took a bit of a break, so we're going to see how much he remembers today, how much our lesson stuck. And then we also have a villain that we are creating based on the laws of motion. And then we will, of course, run an Arbor ability check to see if Arbor would be able to resist one of that villain's abilities. So, what do you say? Are you ready? So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's jump into it. So Newton's laws of motions were, of course, developed by Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, in the late 1600s, and they are a way to describe how and why things move in the world. Objects move. You lie down? Thanks. So, law 1 is the law of inertia, which Arbor demonstrates pretty nicely most of the time. This is the idea that an object in motion will continue in motion, an object at rest will stay at rest. It's the idea that objects tend to pretty much just keep doing what they were already doing. They're kind of like going in a way unless something interferes with them. So moving objects do not, without any outside influence, they do not spontaneously change directions, change speed, or slow down. They just continue. This is like, if I have this little car here, and it's got a little, one of those little pull systems in it. So the idea, if this pull system worked and there was no slowing down of the energy that is produced in that system, it would just roll forever. You gonna take it? So, if we didn't have friction from the floor and a reduction in the system inside, we didn't have a dog attack it, then this thing could potentially roll forever. Okay. This inertia law also states how, let's say we have a nice big hill. Yeah, and we had a car here at the top of the hill with no force or anything, nothing pushing it closer to the edge. It would just stay here. It would just stay at the top, even though there's a bunch of potential motion from gravity down here, potential energy. I remember my physics lessons. If nothing pushes it to start, to get over that edge of the hill where gravity can take it, it's not going to move. Yeah? Okay. So law 2 is about acceleration, force, and mass. So force, like the force something could strike something with, is equal to the mass times acceleration. So how much mass an object has versus how quickly it's going, how quickly it's accelerating, equals that force. So if we put our car here, we're going to see it roll down the ramp, it accelerates down the ramp, its mass times that acceleration speed would give us the force with which it crashes into my stairs. Or dog, when it's the dog he's crashing into. So let's say we have two things. One is twice as heavy as the other. We have a bicycle and a motorcycle. A lot more than 2 times heavier. But if they were moving with the same acceleration, they would hit with a much harder force because one has a lot more mass than the other. This also works if you have something of more mass and you're trying to move it. It takes a lot more energy to overcome that inertia that we talked about. Bigger things have more inertia. Heavier things have more inertia. Like trying to push a real Jeep car versus trying to push this tiny car. It's going to take you a lot more energy and force to get that big object moving, that larger mass object, because it has more inertia. You have to overcome the inertia. With smaller objects, there's less inertia, it's easier to get them going. So with that second law, we could also apply it to not just these cars and things, but Arbor and I. So I have more mass than Arbor. So if everything else were equal, then I would have more force if we had the exact same acceleration. Thing is, he tends to be a lot faster than me. He accelerates way faster than I can. fun for me. So he might actually be able to balance it out. If we were to both run our full hardest and crash into each other, it's hard to say who would win in that. I think we'd both lose. I'd probably lose more. Yeah? Yeah, he's he's a lot. And he leaps and he's spinning weird, so there's weird extra forces on it. And he has teeth, and he likes to lead with those when he jumps at me. Hey? And then we get to law 3, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So this could be something like, I ask Arbor to do almost anything when he's tired, and his reaction is to roll over on his belly. It's less in the physics sense of things, but is very consistent, yeah? But what this refers to in terms of objects, not creatures with big personalities and furry bellies, is actions and reactions. So if we have a ball like this, a big bouncy ball, and we bounce it against the ground, the action is it hitting the ground. It hits the ground and hits it with a force, right? And hits the ground with an action. The reaction is the ground hitting back to bounce the ball back up. So if we go, bring it back. Yeah. Oh, I want that. Bring it. Good car. Fine. Okay. Yeah. 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 Good boy. Thank you. There's an action reaction. It's ugh. You just spat at me. Gross. So. God, you're so slimy. If I do this there's a chance that he will bring me the novel thing in the area. Come here. If I have a treat, the chance of him following my instruction is much higher. And another action reaction could be if I roll this car, it's a pretty good chance Arbor's going to try to chase it. Okay, come here. Come here. Over here. Over here. Over here. Alright, let's get rid of this. Alright, ready? Ready? No, you don't want it? Wait, you have it? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good boy. Keep going. Come here. No, wait. Sir. You gotta let sir go. Okay, bring it back. Yeah, oh, it's a good boy. Oh, thank you. So that's the basic laws. We are now going to look at how they can be applied not just to objects, but to beings in the form of martial arts. No, there's no teeth in martial arts. Okay, I have my slides on because I live in Canada and it's still very cold here. Alright. What? No, I don't need it. I don't need that. So many martial arts will train you to use your opponent's center of mass, sort of the midpoint of them, and their momentum against them. So you can see this in sports like judo, where you might have you're fighting someone bigger than you. One thing that you see in judo and a lot of martial arts, leave it, is a low stance. So if you have a lower stance, you're lowering your center of gravity. This makes you harder to knock over. If you watch MMA and they talk about someone who has really good takedown defense, and they do that sprawl, right? Where they're basically get down and drop their both legs out. I don't have a thing. He's gonna bite me if I try to do it with him. You do the sprawl. You're really lowering your center of gravity. You're stretching out. You're making yourself a lot harder to knock over, making it a lot harder to use your momentum and mass against you. In sports like judo and jiu-jitsu, you have throws where you use your body, you can throw them over your hip or you trip over them. Hey, teeth are not allowed in those sports. Alrighty. So in those sports, there are different types of throws that you can do that use your opponent's momentum. If you can kind of move that center of gravity, like say I was battling with someone taller than me, and they were kind of leaning in, you're holding on to the gi, leave it. Then if you're able to kind of knock them off balance, you can potentially get their weight over a hip or something and help to flip them over. So someone my size would be able to take down, hey, you're not listening very well today. would be able to take down someone of a much bigger size using these principles of, you know, like Newton's first principle, right? A body in motion remains in motion. If they're starting to go forwards and you can position yourself in the right way and get them in the right way, you can just continue their momentum and gravity will help you take them down. And with Arbor, we can see this in, if he's charging at me and I dodge out of the way, then he will not hit me, he will continue on running. But if I stand there, I get run into, which is really fun. But dodging out of the way, you see this a lot as well in martial arts with blocks and things, where you, some of it is you kind of get out of the way of their block, you redirect a block of theirs, you get out of the way, and you have now opened up their body for a counterattack of yours, which sometimes Arbor's running at me, and if I dodge, I can successfully grab his harness. Whereas if he hadn't done this sort of mad charge at me, I wouldn't be able to get the harness because there'd always be teeth in the way. It's like trying to go this way, you know? And if he's really amped, that doesn't work, as you have seen. This is a good boy though. This is nice and calm. And then, yeah, with striking, so when someone, say, punches at you or kicks at you, very rarely are you trying to catch the thing. Oftentimes what you're trying to do is block and redirect that energy so that instead of like trying to stop it, in which case you're still going to be absorbing more of it. Like if they punch at you like this and you're able to kind of block, you know, wax on, wax off idea, paint the fence. If you're able to block that motion, then you redirect the energy. Instead of absorbing it, you just allow their motion to continue them in a new direction thanks to your interfering force, right? It's all coming together, yeah? So you see this a lot in the blooper reels of things that I do, where if Arbor's trying to get me, the best thing that I can do is try to get out of the way. That's really my main tactic of defense, as well as treats. Hey, 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 hey. Nope, nope, nope. Why are we fighting? Sir, sir, sir. Hey, hey. So we can block his attacks. Arbor's a very fast opponent, so this is a very difficult task to do sometimes. Oh. Ah. And he cheats, he bites. So let's say Arbor was gonna throw a paw at me. Okay. Paw. Oh, I could block the paw motion. Sit. Right. Paw. Oh. He doesn't understand. We can block that motion instead of paw. In which case I still get a wallop and I'm still open for attacks. But if I can go paw and do this, then maybe I've opened up him for an attack if he wasn't using his teeth.
Geek Tropical is a US-based small business with over 400 amazing geeky and nerdy designs available on super soft button-up shirts like Arbor and I are wearing, or you can snag them on Hawaiian shirts, bucket hats, dresses, or even kids' Hawaiian shirts. You'll find designs for D&D dudes, science sweeties, fantasy fiends, botany bros, anime appreciators, queer queens, and more. Whatever your interest, Geek Tropical probably has a design for you. All of their designs are licensed from artists who actually get royalties for every sale of their designs. Plus, Geek Tropical has a firm no AI art stance, so you can rest assured knowing that every purchase you make will support a geeky or nerdy individual just like you. And that's not all. Geek Tropical prints to order to avoid a lot of the waste from large batch fast fashion processes. They use a trademarked, super soft, stretchy, moisture wicking fabric, and they have over 1,500 5-star reviews. So if you'd like to join the party, use the link in the description to help support this channel, and use code ARBOR, that's ARBOR, at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. Thank you to Geek Tropical for sponsoring this video and sustainably crafting such awesome geek-tastic clothing.
Okay, now that he's a little calmer and my arms get a bit of a break from all the jumps, we are going to talk to you about what D&D character we have created based on the laws of motion. And since we were talking about martial arts, it should be no surprise that, say it with me, we made a monk. We have a monk, classic martial artists in D&D. This is a 9th level monk. Their name would be Monique, or Motion, get it? Monique, who is a 9th level monk. They run an apple orchard, because we needed to get our Newton apple drop gravity reference in, because a lot of the examples I was finding when trying to learn about these laws dealt with gravity. So a 9th level monk named Mo who owns an apple orchard, and just for fun, to give them an extra direction to escape in and things like that, we're gonna make them an Aarakocra. This is a bird person in D&D, so now if they're trying to dodge and evade and things, they can also go up, which felt appropriate since we're dealing with forces and directions and all that fun stuff. So, monks have a ton of cool skills that align with martial arts and that align with what a martial artist would be if they had magic and could do even more cool stuff. So they have something called Deflect Attack. This is goes very much like what we were saying with the striking. So Deflect Attack can reduce bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage by 1d10 plus their dex modifier, and dexterity, or dex, is a monk's best stat. So this is a pretty, it would be like their best bonus. So their dex modifier and their monk level. So for our monk, they have a level of 9. They're rolling 1d10. Something more apple, probably dog hair. So for Mo, she's a level 9 monk, so it'd be 1d10 plus 9 plus her dex modifier, which would definitely be probably in the 4 or 5 range. I didn't do the full character sheet for this character like I did for our Pied Piper, but I do have plans to, so stick around if you are interested in that. Not today, but stick around on the channel, subscribe. So Deflect Attack, so they can reduce bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage by 1d10 plus that dex modifier plus their monk level. And if they can reduce the damage to 0, like if the enemy did 10 damage to them and they get over 10 with that combination of roll and modifiers and stuff, then they can redirect some of that attack energy to another creature. I've seen this in games where someone deflects an attack of an arrow and then it's flavored as like they grab the arrow and they throw it back at the attacker. So this deflect missiles, deflect attack. Dude, I think actually that is deflect missiles. I haven't played a monk yet, but they're cool. And then they also have something called evasion. So this is where they can dodge certain, not only can they potentially dodge attacks coming at you, because a lot of dodge sorts of things are, there's a dexterity, like escape roll that you basically do, a dexterity check. They can now dodge certain area of effect spells. So if someone casts a fireball and it's a big radius spell, it's just going to set all of this on fire, then they'll be able to dodge that better. And this is a cool ability because on a lot of spells, you would take, if you roll to beat the save that you have to roll, then you take half damage, and if you fail it, you take full damage. But with evasion, if you fail, you only take half damage, and if you succeed, you take no damage at all, which is pretty cool. So fully evading, fully getting out of the way of that motion coming at you, this force coming towards you, you can just get completely out of the way and allow it to continue on its way. And then there's something called slow fall, and slow fall is a way that monks are able to reduce their falling damage, and they can reduce it by 5 times their monk level. So for a level 9 monk, 9 times 5, she would reduce her falling damage by 45 points of damage, which is very substantial. And in like, if you're doing like a small fall, I think falling damage is 1d6 usually for every 10 feet, then like you're gonna be immune to falling damage underneath a certain height of falling, which is pretty handy. And then if you fell from something higher than that, and it would be more than 45 points of falling damage, then my understanding of this is that you understand how to fall, how to move your momentum, maybe through like a link roll, like a yeah, through a link roll or something, so that you can move that momentum and that force instead of just crashing into the ground. You can kind of diffuse it through more contact with the surface and through motion. And you know, you kind of just ignore gravity to an extent, which is fun. I feel like that's what a lot of athletes and things would like. If a parkour athlete ever got magic powers, it'd be like, how can I more ignore gravity? And I think this martial artist, our monk, would be kind of in the same camp. And then they have 2 other little abilities called Patient Defense and Step of the Wind little abilities. They're very good. You can use a bonus action to disengage. So basically running away from your enemy without them getting an opportunity attack on you. You can just kind of skedaddle out of there. Again, this idea that you can dodge, that you're so dexterous that you can kind of just move and they can't predict your movements enough to hit you if you're trying to run away. And Step of the Wind, you can take a bonus action to dash, so you have increased acceleration compared to non-monks or lower level monks. Monks also at level, I think it's level 9, they gain the ability to move along vertical surfaces and across liquids. So again, now they're really ignoring gravity. They're saying, force of gravity doesn't mean anything to me. I'm gonna go up this wall. Or for Mo, maybe she's climbing up her trees, right? She's climbing up the trees and she's getting all them apples, or hiding to attack people coming to invade her space, you know? Not sounding much like a villain, but you could absolutely flavor her as a villain if she's protecting some big relic that the party needs, or is in league with, maybe she's more of like a neutral, right? Maybe not an evil, but not good, right? Kind of existing in this space where it's like it's her land and she's going to defend it by climbing into her trees and running across the duck pond, so you can't get away from her that way. And then Stunning Strike, which is a major monk ability, where if you hit someone and they make a constitution save, if they fail it, they're stunned, which basically means you can't do anything. You're just kind of stuck. I think you have bonus actions, but you can't move and you can't take actions. So it can be very impactful if a monk gets stunned, because the person doesn't get to roll again to see if they get out of it until the end of the monk's next turn, where if it's a big bad guy, they have a tendency to try to restun them. And then they also have Stillness of Mind as they get up into a bit of a higher level, which means that at the end of their turn, they can end a charmed or frightened attack on them or an ally. I think it's within a certain distance. But this is cool because it's like they cannot be made to act or move against their will. Their inertia is so strong that you cannot move them without their consent, really. Or their party members, which is a pretty nifty feat and really does go along with the first law of motion. And then what I need your help with this week is, what subclass should this monk be? Monks get to choose a subclass where they get some special abilities from it. And I was torn between the Warrior of the Open Hand or the Four Elements Disciple. So both of these have a range of things that didn't fit like super neatly into the little box of the laws of motion, but each of them has one major thing that fits really well that's pretty fun, and I can't decide which one feels like it fits most or would be most enjoyable for playing, and with this flavoring of this physics law monk. So Warrior of the Open Hand, option 1, has Open Hand Technique. And this means when you hit a creature with a Flurry of Blows attack, which is a way that a monk can do extra attacks on their turn, only a few times in their day, but still pretty cool. When they hit with a Flurry of Blows attack, they can add one of 3 effects to this attack. They can add Addle, which is you basically confuse them. The person can't take opportunity attacks. So if that's that thing where the monk is able to like disengage as a bonus action, they can dodge and the person doesn't get a swing on them. This is now, if you hit them, if you addle them, they are not able to take those opportunity attacks. And you could absolutely flavor this by like the monk Mo throws an apple at them and it bonks them on the head, like this classic story of Newton getting hit in the head by the apple. So if Mo throws an apple at the person, bonks him in the head, she can addle them. Or you can push your opponent 15 feet away, which is just handy. If they're trying to steal her apple, she can shove them away from the tree. Or she can topple them, which is you knock them over, and they have to roll a successful dex save or be knocked prone. They fall down, which is bad in D&D. It takes half of your movement to stand back up, so you really don't want to be knocked prone. And this could be her putting one of those like apple boxes under or behind them and shoving them over it in that classic, I'll kneel behind them and you knock them over. But she would do it with an apple box. So that's the open hand technique in the Warrior of the Open Hand that just worked pretty well with the apple stuff. We can tie it into Newton, and again, it goes with the overcoming inertia to knock them over or to push them. And addle, a lot of people are confused by physics. A lot of the videos I watched were complicated to try to explain this concept. So I think it fits pretty well, and it's very martial arts, right? It's very martial in its approach. But then Four Elements Disciple is a lot more magical, and it really connects you into the elements. It's got a bit more of like an Avatar, Last Airbender vibe. And in that one of the abilities you can choose to gain is called Clench of the North Wind, where you can cast Hold Person, Hold Person is a spell, an enchantment spell, 2nd level, where someone has to do a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for up to a minute as you hold your concentration on this spell. As long as you don't lose concentration, you can just hold them there for a minute. And this is fully about motion, right? Like they can't cast spells or do attacks and stuff, but they can't move at all. So I would flavor this as, you know, those like baskets people like collect apples in. You just like has a big one and just like drops it on you. Very cartoon. I played Mario Party recently, so that's what's in my head. Just drop like a big apple basket on them. Or she has a big one and she can like magically like pick you up and drop you in, so you're just like stuck in this big apple basket. Which is just funny and silly. And it works because now she's grabbed you. You are not able to do anything if you fail these con saves, or your wisdom saves, sorry. If you fail these wisdom saves, you can't do anything to break out of this, to overcome this inertia surrounding you and preventing your motion. So let me know in the comments what subclass you think that Mo, our law of motion monk, should have. If this Aarakocra should have open hand technique where they can addle, push, or topple, or if they should have Clench of the North Winds to cast Hold Person. No. Okay, and on that note, it is time to do the Arbor ability check. Yeah? Oh yeah, okay. Arbor. Can I have this? Can I have this? Oh, there's holes in this now. Arbor ability check. Oh, you didn't attack me. Amazing. Okay, so we are going to roll against Stunning Strike. Of course, it is a classic monk ability, and no matter what subclass Monique was, she would definitely have Stunning Strike. So this is a Constitution saving throw, which if you have seen our D&D, no, why? So it's a Constitution saving throw, which if you have seen our dog D&D stats video, you know that Constitution is, unfortunately for Arbor, his weakest skill. He has, based on basic, like the standard scores, he has an 8 in Constitution, which means that whatever he rolls, we have to subtract 1 from. So you gotta roll pretty well, yeah? This is a DC 15 Constitution saving throw to not be stunned, okay? Catch. Oh, good catch. Okay, roll. We're trying to roll today in our A Bunch of Crows rolling tray. This is one of the drawn D20 ones that I make, and also my scrunchie and Arbor's matching bandana you can get on A Bunch of Crows on Etsy. And check out our Instagram. We have a new Instagram for that page as well. So we're gonna try to roll it in. Yeah, okay. Ready? Catch. Okay, drop. Oh, no. That was me, okay. You had a flub, I had a flub, both mulligans. Try again. Ready? Catch. Oh no! Catch. Oh, good job. Okay! And Arbor, covered in slime, rolls a 16, which would indeed pass if the DC was 15 for the saving throw, because we subtract 1, he gets a 15, meets it, beats it. Yeah, you did it! So Arbor wouldn't be stunned, so he would be free to continue biting everybody. Okay. No, sir. So even if Arbor broke into the orchard and failed a wisdom save to steal some apples from the very scary monk lady, he wouldn't get stunned. That time. At least. Okay. Do you need to show off your skills now? Yep. You want to show everybody that you know how to do stuff now? Alright, we're gonna reset and we'll be back. Okay, so the way that we have been training stop with Arbor is with a clicker, because it's a great way to tell the dog exactly, in the exact moment that he does the right thing. So for us, I get Arbor to come here. Come. I get him to sit on the opposite side of the room. I make him wait, which is a cue that he knows. I don't walk into things. And I'm going to call him over to me and then put my hand out. No, I didn't do it yet. Go back. Wait. I will stop him by putting my hand out to stop him, and then I will click when he stops motion, and I will give him the treat. So, come, stop. Good boy. He added a sit to it pretty early on, and I figured I would encourage that because that is a great addition to this cue. Okay, stop. Come here. Wait. So far he's doing pretty good. That was 1. We'll do 5. But that's not any of your cue words. What are you, the band 5? Wait. 5 bad boys, blowing your mind, so you gotta get into 5. What you waiting for? If you want a 3, 2, 2, 1, let's hit it. Ooh, oh, deflect. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, what's this? Deflection. Okay. No. Wait. It's actually good. We'll hype him up. It's a better challenge. Come. Good. Okay, over here. That's very good. Wait. Sit. Wait. Come. Stop. Oh, good job. I will enforce the sit with this behavior later, but right now it's really just about getting him to know that this word means motion stops. Wait. Nope. Oh. No. Here. Wait. Come. Stop. Okay. Now, to make it even harder and more dangerous, I'm going to send Arbor upstairs, and then I'm going to call him. We'll see if we can get him to stop once he's down the stairs, which is always a bigger challenge because he's all hyped up from going up the stairs. Okay? Oh, you can get this from a bunch of crows too. My dog treat bags. The real ones have better lining. This is my prototype. It's lasted very well, but it has a crappy lining. Okay, ready? All right, up. Stop. Up. Go. Here we go. Right, come here. Ready, stop. Oh, very good. That was so good. You did so good. I'm glad that this is, we filmed not the first day that we did this. He was not this effective the first day. Oh, okay. I gotta use blocks and evasion because he's really trying to bite me. So that does it for our laws of motion video. We learned what the laws of motion are. We learned how they can apply to martial arts. We made a D&D monk character based on the laws of motion, which I need your help for again in the comments. Let me know. We tested if Arbor would be able to resist a stunning strike, and amazingly he did. I'm stunned. And finally, we learned how we began training a stop cue in Arbor, which is hopefully going to turn into a very important, helpful, useful cue word when Arbor gets very excited, especially outside. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please remember to like this video if you enjoyed what we did. Comment on what subclass you think that our monk should be, or if there are other science or math concepts that you would love to see turned into a D&D character. I'm having a lot of fun with this series. And make sure to subscribe to join the curious community. All right, you ready to go? Okay, let's go. Come, let's go upstairs. Up.